You might be wondering where this music is coming from. The intro music and the outro music that you're listening to from this podcast, this episode, and the first, is original music that Ahmed wrote and the both of us recorded together. Uh, Both tracks are available on our Patreon. We started a Patreon page. We'll be posting some of our music on there. We'll be posting the podcast on there as well. And you consider becoming a patron if you like. Also, you can donate to our main page and become a supporter on the Anchor website, of which I want to give a big shout out to our first monthly supporter ever. We greatly appreciate your contributions, and it will not go unnoticed. We're going to do our absolute best to make sure it's worth your while. So thank you again very much. Greatly appreciated. And moving forward, we're going to make this podcast better and better. Especially today. This is episode 2 in Ahmed's story. My name is Eric Ransom, and we're with Ahmed Shareef again on the Ahmed in Retrospect podcast. So this is a big episode. This is where Ahmed will start to delve into the first major life events that have led him to where he is today. But first, we will continue from where we left off, and we'll get to the big revelations soon enough. But until then, Ahmed, where did we leave off? We were talking about starting the relationship with the dog.
Oh yes, absolutely, Eric. First, I want to thank you today for your time too. How you doing today? Everything's good? How was your week?
Solid.
Fine?
Not bad, yeah.
Okay. It was great feedback from the first episode.
It was terrific.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like Eric said, thank you for the listeners and the supporter who subscribed or monthly. Yeah, he became our monthly supporter.
And
so appreciate
it
it.
made yesterday a very good National Podcast Day, of which I just found out was a thing.
Yeah. So we're excited moving forward. So yeah, we left off with the dog. So I mentioned from the previous episode that we moved to a different town in Baghdad. And basically, that's when my life began to really looking dark. It was getting darker for me. You know, I graduated my first grade. I was excited, having a great time with my friends, Ali and Sajjad. And my father promised me to buy me a bicycle so I can ride around with my friends, but that never happened. I didn't get the bike, and I did not stay in that town. So we moved to that town, and like I said, just refresh my memory. My new school, it was really bad. I couldn't understand. I didn't get along with anybody, the teachers, the friends, everybody really. I started skipping school, and that's during the war. Still the war going on. Saddam been captured and everything. And then we started getting to the winter. It was Ramadan. You know, Ramadan, that's a month that all people who are Muslim, who believe in Islam, fasted, you know, during that month of Ramadan. And basically, that's basically you eat from like prayer in the morning before sun, and then you break your fast in the evening when the sun sets. So yeah, that's basically the tradition thing about Islam that we do it every year, and every year that changes. Okay, so yeah, moving forward, halfway during Ramadan, one day, my father started to treat me very well after hitting me with a stick by skipping school, and the dog. I just created a relationship with the dog, and I named the dog. She basically, her name is Tita. That's the name of the dog. And I started feeding the dog any leftovers we have in the house, and basically became my new friend in that town, Al Habibi. So the dog, after I found out about the dog a couple of weeks later, that the dog is pregnant, um, and one day I came from school and I saw the dog. It was digging in the dirt, and I was like, well, why she's doing that? And I asked my older sister. I was like, why is she doing that? She's like, oh, I think she's digging a hole for her puppies because she's pregnant. I was like, oh wow, okay. So every day for like a couple of weeks, every day when I come from school, I go help the dog dig into the ground, into the dirt to make it bigger, to help her. Okay. And still not going well for me in the school. You know, I have all these book bag, I have all these my books and everything. I have everything basically, but I wasn't happy in the new school. No friends. I was lonely. I was a lonely child. Especially, I wasn't treated well from my family. My family was big, so they did not pay attention. My father, my mother. So I was spending time with the dog. And our one of our neighbor, a friend named Dawood, I met him while walking from school, and I saw him. I was like, "Oh, you live here?" I was like, "Okay." So I was like, "We'll go, me and you, every day like that." So instead of us going alone on our own, so we'll walk together. So yeah, we did that for a few days, and we hear like bomb, loud bangs, shootings and like that. But it's fine, like I said before. And one day, my dad, in the morning, woke me up. He gave me some change. He's like, "Go get some stuff after school. I want you to do well in school." I was like, okay. I was so happy my father did that for me. And I went that day to the school. My sister, her name is Safa. She's a couple of years older than me. She's in the same, not in the same school, but in the same area. Another school across from us. Okay, so she was in middle school. So that day, it was getting cold around November, like that, and we heard some shootings. I think and while in school, and we left that day. Me and Dawood. That area was it was mixed. Some Christianity. Some people who Christian lived there. It was total mix. Different culture there in that new town. So it was mixed between people who were Islam and Christian people. So yeah. So I gave my book back to my sister. I was like, "Hey, take it home. I'm gonna go Dawood, see what we can do." So maybe I developed a new friend. Developed a relationship with that boy. So we walked a couple of blocks, and I end up. We see the street is empty. Nobody was walking on the street. Nobody's outside. I was like, "Hey, Dawood, what's going on? There's nobody here. What's happening?" We took the longer way to get home. We figured maybe we can play or something. My sister already got home. She took my book bag with her, and I was walking, and we heard some gunfire. Like we heard some shootings. Like, oh, Dawood got scared. My friend, I was like, oh, don't worry, it's okay. And I was walking, and I get into a corner, basically like an intersection. And I look to the left. I see the street is blocked. And I look to the right, and I see some like men have like these big automatic weapons. I think they call them these days like AK-47s and like all these names, fancy names for these weapons.
Yeah, right.
I was like, oh man. Say it again?
Yeah, they're either like assault rifles or
Yeah. So I saw them. Yeah. So I did see that. Dawood got real scared. I was like, oh, Ahmed, we should not cross. I was like, oh, come on, we have to cross. We have to go home this way. If we go the other way, maybe we don't know what could happen. Come on, let's cross. So he said, oh, what about if they shoot us? I was like, don't worry, let's come on, let's run. We crossed the street, and we were so happy that we didn't get nobody, you know, open fire at us. So when we got to the other side of the street, it was a big wide street, like two-way, and I was walking on the sidewalk, and across the street was these big American tanks. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be like a battle. We should run. So Dawood was like, hey, come on, let's walk faster. And as I turned my face to tell Dawood to walk faster, there was a bomb right next to my right foot, like a few feet, like 3 feet, maybe in less than 3 feet. I saw it, but the second I saw it, it exploded straight to my face as I turned my body to tell Dawood to walk faster, because Dawood was walking behind me. And when that happened, I didn't hear, like my ears were like so boomed, like for 5 minutes I couldn't hear any noise. I couldn't hear anything. I just, stood there in my spot. After a couple of minutes, I hear a boy crying. I was like, oh, I'm alive? What's happening? I was in total shock mode. What's happening? I'm trying to open my eyes, I can't. I'm trying to move my fingers, I'm trying to move my body. I don't know. My body numb. It's like, like when you touch, like in the winter, when you grab like the snow, and your fingers feel so numb, like in the winter here.
Okay.
That was like my body. It was so numb. You can't feel anything. In fact, my right hand, like from my wrist, he got like blowing because of the bomb, and went straight and hit Dawood in his stomach. All my 5 fingers, my whole hand, and I was alive.
Wow.
Yeah, it hit him right in his stomach. So I heard him crying, and I can't see anything. I don't feel any pain. I don't know what's going on. The next minute or two, somebody just picked me up. So it was cold, and picked me up, and it took me like into I like a truck or something, and a couple of guys and a woman with us. She was crying, and when I heard all this going on, I was like, I want my mom. I started crying too. Where's mom? And the woman said, "Oh, I'm your mom. I'm your mom." I said, "No, you're not my mom. I know what my mom sounds like." So they took me to the first two hospitals. They they couldn't take me because of lack of supplies. Like I said, the government was shut down, no supplies. The medical system was corrupt. Everything. I said, they they showed up. These people, like far, they were my neighbors, but like far from us. And the doctor's like, "Oh, we don't know how to help him. We can't. We don't have the supplies to." And they took me the first hospital, same thing. Second hospital, same thing. The third hospital, the guy put me on a stretcher and told the doctor, if you don't save him, about me especially, if you don't save him, he's not gonna last the next 20 minutes. Because I've been bleeding for a couple of hours.
Right, right. Blood loss.
Yeah, but if you can't save him, next 20, I can't take him to another hospital. I can't. We can't. So they took me, the third hospital, straight to the emergency room. And what I heard that they went and knocked my house, like the door, my house, and my father um, answered. Okay. And the next minute, they told him that your son is in the hospital. And my father passed out right there.
Oh my goodness.
Right at the door. Mm-hmm. So, my brother saw it, my older brother. He was very like protective of me, and when he said that, he told me when he heard that loud boom, because now I'm missing for a couple of hours, and they were worried about me, concerned about where's Ahmed, and when he heard um, that sound of the bomb, he said, "Oh, I think this is Ahmed. This is Ahmed." And then a couple of hours later, they knocked the door. Knock, knock. Your son is in the hospital. My family, and they were about to break their fast, but they didn't. So they came to the hospital. I was they were doing surgeries on me, like trying to rescue me. So I got damage in my right side of my face, my whole jaw, my whole, you know. I got a lot of shrapnels in my body, my legs, my head, my chest. That almost killed me. A couple of shrapnels. Dawood, my friend, he just got burned basically, and they removed my fingers from his stomach.
Wow.
Yeah, they removed it. So Saad showed up into the emergency room, and they were doing surgeries on me. So they amputated my arm, my right arm, all the way to my elbow, and he turned around. He's like, "Oh, this left arm is, we gotta take it off too." And my brother Saad, he pushed the doctor. Said, "No, try to save it. Try to." I said, "I can't. He might get infection. He can't. You might risk his life." He said, "No." So he said, "Okay, you're responsible for that. It's your brother." So they cleaned it, whatever, because I had no skin in my left arm, my hand, my fingers, and everything. The left one. And thank God, healed little by little, and Saad, my brother, saved it for me. So I stayed in the hospital for a month, and they didn't get to my eyes until 20 days later. So they cleaned it. They stopped bleeding, like, but they covered it because they were trying to rescue my life. Moving the shrapnels in my body, my face, my arms. And when they removed the cover from my eyes, they said it was too late now. My right eye is completely damaged. They just cleaned it or whatever. My left one, um, it's okay. It was okay, but um, the nerve got hurt. So they did a couple of surgeries, whatever. They cleaned it and everything, and I couldn't save my sight. So yeah, I didn't find out until later, that my sight was lost. No. I stayed in the hospital for a month, and then they said, okay, he's now safe. Now you can take him out. They took me home, and as soon as I got to the house, I got out the car. Who came to the car? Eric. Who came to the car is the dog. She gave birth of 7 puppies.
Wow.
While I was in the hospital. Yep. 7 puppies. And who came to the car? As soon as I get out, the dog came running to me. Probably the dog's thinking, like, where is this boy? Where is this boy? Been missing. But the dog, I don't know. This is amazing. How smart dogs can be. As soon as I got the car, the dog just ran to me and start sniffing me, start to yeah. So it was a sad moment for me.
What kind of dog was it? Do you know? Do you remember what it looked like?
I really don't know, but yeah, it's brownish, has some white dots on it. Yep. So he gave 7 puppies, and where she put the puppies in the same hole that me and the dog were digging. It's amazing. So we got to the house, and I was not sleeping at night for a while. It was very cold. We don't have no power. My older sister, she would stay up with me, move any bugs or mosquitoes, lay on my face or anything, just in case. So she stayed with me every night for a couple of weeks. And then as I healed little by little, now the boy who was always outside, the boy is always playing soccer, like that. Now he's in the house in the dark. Everybody go to school, everybody go to work. I just stay with my younger sister. She was like 4 at home. I'll tell you another moment, a sad moment. They took my pencils, my pens, my notebooks, and then I was like, that's it for me. No more school for me. Life just, it was meant to turn that way. Yep. So that was the sad moment that I had after losing my sight. That I lost everything. Lost friends, lost the school that I liked, I lost my comfort zone, everybody, and I lost my sight. It was coming little by little to me. Why? Because of wars, because of, whatever caused that accident. And I'm sure there's a lot of children, a lot of families got killed and got hurt. Same thing. Maybe worse than me, Yeah, so Saad, my older brother, he saw me like that. He quit his job. He's like, oh, I gotta help him. And he had a 6 months old son, so that he had to take care of. But he quit his job. He's like, oh, I gotta find something for him. So between wars, between like that, he started taking me to hospitals. He started taking me to you know, government trying to find something. And he took me to this American hospital. They had it, it's like connected to a military base. And he found a woman named Major Norma. She was in the military. Major Norma, there was a translator there. And she saw my picture. She's like, oh, it's like, she told my brother son, oh, I'm really bad. I feel really bad. I'm so sorry. Can you give me his medical records? Let's see if I can find somebody for him. And she emailed a lady who is in charge of a charity foundation of Global Medical Relief Fund. And the lady, her name is Elisa Montanti. So she emailed my picture and my information to her. She found her online and asking for help. And I went home that day, and what I found out later, that when Elisa saw my picture and she saw my information, she said, I gotta help this child. I have to help. So I don't know anything about the United States. I don't know anything about anything. I was a little. So a couple months later, South told me, like, hey, we're gonna go to the United States. You're gonna see again. You're gonna do this. I was quiet. I was like, oh, what is that? Where is what is that? Where is America? What is it? I don't know anything. I don't know a word of English. Nothing. I was scared. I was scared of pain again. I went through a lot of pain. Surgeries, stitches, needles, everything. I'm like, oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to America. They might do surgeries. They might hurt me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. A couple of months later, I went. Or Elisa sent my information with visas and everything, and she told my brother to get the passport and everything. And so it was getting serious. Everybody was like, oh yeah, whatever. I was like, oh, it's getting serious. And that's still going on, the war and everything. So we have to really move carefully. And then the day came, Elisa said, oh, I'm going to come to Iraq to get you. So we went to south of Iraq. South of Iraq is Basra. And Al-Basra, that's close to Kuwait, it's borders with Kuwait. And I went there, and that day I stayed overnight in Basra, and the next morning I went to the border and I met Elisa. And that's when life, turned around. I entered a new world, and I was blind. Now I'm hearing different languages. Now I'm like, this is my sense of smelling new things, hearing different noises, everything. So Alyssa came to the border of Iraq and Kuwait and picked me up with her friend Christina and some other Kuwaiti, people helping her. She came and hugged me and took me to Kuwait. different world for me. Now I entered a different world. Saad was with me, and for 2 days we got our visas and we took off to the United States. Never been on a plane. People speaking to me in English, I didn't know anything. Saad was teaching me little by little, like good morning, how are you, things like that. And I was very shy, and I'm still thinking, oh, are they gonna hurt me? Are they gonna do a surgery on me? What's gonna happen? So we took off from Kuwait. We landed in Heathrow, London. We landed there for 4 hours and we took off to the US. Along with other children also, Elisa was helping. And we landed in New York, right in JFK. And I couldn't really describe you the feelings that I went through when I got here. I was totally quiet. If Saad leaves me, I'll start crying. Where's Saad? Because he was my only source. I was so afraid losing him. Oh, he left me. You know what I mean? I had that fear.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I got to the US, and Elisa took me to her house, along with other children from Iraq also, who got hurt also in the war. It was another girl. She was her 2 legs were missing. Same age as me, and we stayed there for 3 months. And she took me to 20 doctors to see if I can restore my sight back. Well, they said, oh, maybe as technology advances or as he gets older, there might be more solutions for him. Maybe it could be a possible operation. See one of his eyes, possibly the left one. She took me to the Children's Hospital, who's been always great to the charity, Global Medical Relief Fund, and they gave me a prosthetic arm to wear, and so I had a great support. So that was my journey all the way from Iraq to the US.
To a totally new world.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Different language, different culture, everything. Absolutely. New music. Just blind. Never saw the United States at all. These faces that I met, never saw them in my life.
So let's backtrack to shortly after. I wanted to just target more of the earliest experiences you had of realizing that you couldn't see anymore. What were the first few moments like, and like the earliest memories that you have of trying to reconcile that that you couldn't see anymore, and what sort of emotions and what sort of feelings did you have trying to get used to not having sight anymore?
Well, I had a few moments. After they took the cover away from my eyes when I was in the hospital, and they told me I can't see, and my parents were giving me hope. Are you gonna see again? You're gonna see again. You'll be okay. This is just for a little bit, just temporary. And then my mind was like, no, I can't. I'm opening. Why I cannot see anything? And this other moment when I was home, when I got to the house, I can't move. I have to rely on people moving me, getting me around, just in case I hit the wall or hit the couch or anything. So I can't. It was very frustrating for me. So I was crying sometimes. So another moment that really got me upset and hurt me, and is my father got me the bicycle after I became blind.
Oh wow.
Because I wanted that bike before so I can ride it around with my friends. And I got it now after I became blind. What's the point? And I, and after that, my family just became paying, closer to me and paying attention to me after total, feeling lost after we moved to the new town. So these moments really stayed with me. And not seeing it again, you just got used to it and adapt. Really, you can't do anything about it. How long you gonna cry? And I was a child, so I couldn't really do anything. Maybe just cry. If that answers your question.
Yeah, I wanted to touch upon just how I felt uh, trying to simulate what it would be like. Basically, everybody has probably at least a number of times have tried to simulate what it would be like to be blind, and they just close their eyes and they try to do tasks, and they have to feel the walls, or maybe there's no lights in the house and it's completely dark, and you just try to move through a hallway. And when I was younger, or especially when most people are younger, they might be a little bit scared of the dark. And a lot of the times when you're trying to sleep sometimes and you have these things going on in your head, you open your eyes and you can look around you and you won't have these scary thoughts. But of course, if you become blind and you were blind for a very short period of time and one of these scary thoughts comes into your head, you won't be able to open your eyes, so it goes away. And obviously when you're a child, especially being that young and having something that traumatic, I wanted to ask if there were any times where you tried to open your eyes because maybe you were experiencing what happened to you again, and in your efforts to try to get rid of it, to open your eyes and to just look around, that you couldn't. How many times did that moment play in your head?
So here's the thing. If you're trying to compare a sighted person to a blind person, it's really difficult. You know why? Because when somebody is blind, first of all, it's the nerve inside your eye that it's dead. It's dead. It doesn't matter about opening or closing your eyes. It's behind and it's inside your head. That the nerve connected between your brain and your eye, that's dead. So that's difficult. So right now, if I open my eyes closed, I'm not seeing any color. Maybe now, guys, if you, I remember before when I closed my eyes, you see just black, right?
Right.
You see black. I did that before before I lost my sight. I did that before. You get scared, you start opening your eyes right away. No, that's different. To explain, it's different. You don't see any color when that nerve is dead in your eye, or got hurt or damaged. It's difficult to compare to somebody who's sighted, who the nerve is active and providing the sight between your brain and your eyes. So it's not really, I don't see any color, to be honest right now. It's not black or it's not anything. It's just a normal thing for me.
Yeah, that is almost
And you know,
impossible to
light,
describe.
it's hard. It's definitely hard. But I'm just saying, I'm not seeing any color right now. Like I have my eyes open right now, but I'm not seeing any color like black or not anything like that. No, it's difficult to explain. Um, but you get used to it, and your senses, yes, do get. Some people say, oh, they get stronger. No, let me explain it. It doesn't really get stronger, it gets sensitive. You know why? Because that's your rely on. Okay, close your eyes and try to rely on your other senses like hearing or smelling or like that. It's hard. But when one of your senses get, you lose one of these senses, the other senses get activated. You rely on them, so they become strong that way. Because you train them, you train your ear, what people sound like, sounds of things, how where things are, smell of things. That's how your brain memorizes, and your memory like it memorizes the smell of people, it memorizes the sound of people, it memorizes sounds of vehicles, cars, songs, everything like that. They just become more sensitive and trained because that's how you rely on. But people who are sighted, they don't pay attention to these things because they rely on their eyes most of the time. And yeah, if I'm sighted, I'm gonna rely on my sense. But no, you just get more sensitive as with practice and with training and like that. You just become more and more independent, and um, you get to live, I'll say a normal life.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, just to describe to the audience, or to explain to them, since I would say every single one of them probably can see what the difference is between being sighted and just closing your eyes compared to having no sight whatsoever. And you put it into a nice category where it's actually almost unexplainable, where you see that there's no color, and that just closing your eyes or just being in complete darkness still doesn't do it justice, because there's still the
No.
nerve that is sensitive and can actually pick up what the world around them is, even when their eyes are closed. Because when you close your eyes, you still have a sense of where light is, and you still could
Mm-hmm.
see your eyelids, because you're actually not seeing darkness. You're actually just seeing your eyes, your eyelids covering over your eyes. And what
Mm-hmm.
the hardest part, I think, for a sighted person now to grasp is the fact that there's normalcy in being in the complete darkness. We would call it darkness, but there's normalcy in
Mm-hmm.
that, because that's the way it's going to be every second of every day. Whereas for us, we have a differentiation, because we have times where we could see and we could see the light, and then we have times where it's dark. But in your everyday
Mm-hmm.
life, everything is dark, and that is the normalcy.
Yeah, it's normalcy, but in your head or like that, it's not dark for you. You still imagining things. You still imagining things around you. When people come to my house, like, oh, it's dark. It's like, oh, okay, I didn't know that because I can't think about it.
Right? Yeah, I know. I've come to
Yeah.
your house, and the lights are off, or and I realize, oh wait,
Yeah,
I actually have to
yeah,
turn the light on because he doesn't need the lights.
yeah. I don't think about it because that's the thing. That's it. You just get adapt to it, and you don't rely, oh, it's dark or light like that. You move on with your other senses, and that's how you navigate.
So would you say that
You know
your
what I
other
mean?
senses have there ever been times where your senses sort of created an image in your head, either of memories or
All the
like in the
time.
present, so that it practically feels like you're seeing?
Yes. So basically, like for example, Eric Ransom, I have a picture in my head how you look like. Maybe I can't describe it to you because it's difficult to describe it. But based on your voice, I create an image in my head how you sound like,
Wow.
or how you know, you know. I mean, everything is about the tone, and and then just create an image, and you try to imagine when you go to like a place, like they try to imagine what this place looks like
You
in
also
your
said
head.
you assign colors, that you get color vibes from people, and you've given, I think you've given me a color and
Yes,
everybody.
depends on the people. Yeah, depends on the people. Depends on the people. So You like maroon whitish. You like
Maroon white. Okay.
yeah. So like that's how you identify them in your head, because like I said, it's based on your brain and your ears.
Right.
Your ears. You create an image, so you'll define. You know, like how that's how you define people. Oh, this person. Oh, hey, what's up, Eric? Oh, hey, what's up, Steven? And things like that.
Yeah, a long time ago,
Because
you
you're
said,
lying.
I think you said that my color was brown.
Sometimes it changes. Yeah, sometimes it changes. Absolutely. Sometimes it changes based on the things we do, based on as time changes, you get older. That's how it is.
So do you think a lot of the color is not just based on like the sounds, but maybe the emotion you feel towards them? Like specifically, what color do you see Elisa?
I see her. I see her as red. Now now she become to me like more pinkish
Well, red and
for
pink are
me.
definitely love colors, definitely
Close,
February and
right?
Valentine's Day. So that makes a lot of sense
Yeah.
psychologically that someone you have a strong emotional connection to, someone that played a massive loving role in your life, would have sort of a reddish pinkish color.
Yeah. Well, I can't really, I can't get colors into, feelings of people, but, I love people. I like to help people, but I see what you're saying.
So I'll drop this
Yeah.
question on you. What
Okay.
color do you see yourself as?
Oh, um, see, I never thought about that one. I never thought about that one. Um,
Almost like
this is,
how a blind person would look at themselves in the mirror. I feel like what color would you give yourself would be the equivalent of me, a sighted person looking in the mirror and interpreting what they see.
I give myself, see, let me explain it. For me, that depends how I feel because it's me. Depends how I feel in my mood every day. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So I can get up in the morning and I feel like, oh, I'm tired, like that. So I see myself in a different way. And I could get up in the morning and I feel really, energetic and really happy and everything. I can see myself a different way. So based on the mood. So that's different because it's me. So it definitely separates from the way I see people also. Sometimes I sense people's energy by their voice also.
Okay.
By their voice. I'm like, oh, how can you tell? Oh, I'm upset. I'm like, I hear you. I see your energy. And it's like, oh, how you know about that? My voice is okay. No, based on the way you're moving. So it's difficult to explain. And I'm sure every blind person is different. I don't want people to think, oh, all blind people are the same. Absolutely wrong. Blind people are smart in their ways. Some of them are not. And a lot of blind people have different methods they live in their lives. Um, and some of them, successful, some of them are not. So,
Do you think
yeah.
that there's
It's
any?
an absolute.
No, you go.
Sorry, go ahead. Now, I was trying to say, like, blind people, I learned recently, or for the past few years, that blind people, when they born from birth, is different from people who got hurt into an accident, like that became blind from an accident
Right.
or something happened to their eye. It's absolutely different, also. Just to throw it out there.
Yeah, your blindness would probably be a lot different than someone like Stevie Wonder's, who was blind from almost birth.
Yep.
His retinas were burned in a incubator when he was an infant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, do you think that there's any
Um.
connection between the fact that you stated in the first episode that your favorite color is red because that's what your crush
Hmm.
wore? She wore red, and now you've assigned Elisa with the reddish color. Have you ever thought about that?
Well, Elisa, you know, between me and myself, I love Elisa to death. And the word thank you, do you know when you say something and you feel like this is not enough?
All yeah, all the time.
Elisa, what she have done for me, and you'll learn the next episode what she done for me in details. What she done for me, even my parents would never done it for me. So I can't explain how much I love her, and maybe love is not enough word to explain how much I feel about her. She's my motivation. She's my energy. She's my, um, I can't really explain how much I feel about her. I call her mom, and I'll get to that when I called her that the first time, in later episodes. So yeah, it could have a connection. Yeah, it could have a connection, but yeah,
I feel in a way that
she's special.
you just assigning her that color, knowing that red is your favorite color, and that Elisa is red in your mind, or red in your mind is a testament enough to just how much thank you really means.
Well, put it that way. She's my favorite person in the world. She is. Okay, let me put it that way. Everybody love themselves, and everybody love their lives, and everybody they scared of their life. Elisa, she's the same thing I care about myself. I care about her. The same thing I care about my life. I care about her life, and I just hope the best and happy years coming for her, and healthy years for sure.
So before the
You know?
incident happened, I just was curious also about the visuals. So I was talking earlier about your first experiences knowing that you were blind. I'd also like to go back to your last experiences remembering that you had sight. So I just want to just move around sort of the environment. You described it well, the streets, your friend behind you. I wanted to examine more what the actual cause was. So you said it was a bomb. How much detail can you go into it? Do you know what kind of bomb? Was it an IED? Was it thrown? Was it on the ground? What did it look like? How big was it?
I would say it was an IED. It wasn't a mine. Mine basically you step on it, and it wasn't that. It was on the ground. It was above ground. Usually, um, mine you basically dig it into the ground, and you have to step on it. I was lucky and fortunate that I still have my legs.
Right.
They got hurt, some shrapnels, but thank God, the bomb really got my face and my upper body, not my legs or anything. So it was definitely it was on the ground, couple of feet away from me, and I can't really tell you. I just saw something black,
Right.
and next minute, or not next minute, the next second, a total boom. From that was it.
And you said this was in November 2004.
I'll say yeah, around that time. Yeah, around that time.
What kind of day? What kind of time of day was it? Was it dusk or midday, dark?
It was late afternoon, like 3ish, 4ish. Yep. And in the winter the days are shorter.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it was cold, and unfortunate. But I talk about it right now, and it wasn't meant to be. Like I said, it was just my life was just going down a little by little, losing my life a little by little. My crush, friends, school, everything, and lost myself.
So,
back then.
would it be fair to say that the very, very last thing that you ever saw was the bomb, or was it your friend, or?
The last thing I saw, my friend, yeah. Um, and blue sky. It's sad to see the last few people that I saw. It was those people who had the guns and the American tanks and my friend. Fortunately,
Did you happen to know? I don't know if you would know this, but do you happen to know the exact street you were on and the exact city, the exact street corner?
I know the city Habibia. That's the name of the town. I know the name of the school, name Al Wada, but the streets, no. I was too little to remember.
Right.
Yeah.
Because with the power of Google Earth, it might actually be possible to pinpoint somewhat closely.
I have to I have to dig into it. Really trying to know the edges. Something. It's been
Like you did with the dog.
you
To
know.
dig into it.
It's been 18, 17 years, man. So it's definitely it's been a while. So I don't know if it's still the same, the streets or the houses. You don't know.
That's true.
But we'll see, definitely. You know what I mean? So as we go on forward, we're going to talk about my time here in the U.S. and what I discovered and what I learned here the first 3 months when I got here, and how I created a relationship with Lisa little by little, because I came here, I was so shy and was so scared. Like I said, it was sad. And my experience with the hospitals here, and yeah, so that will be next episode. We'll talk about my time in here.
And possibly a side issue that happened around that time involving a certain kind of footage and a certain documentary that was published. That's something we may get into, but
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, for sure. For sure, we'll talk about that the second time that really got me when I came in here. So we'll talk about how people try to use me and hurt the charity for their own benefit, to raise money for themselves and not for the charity. So we'll talk about these people who are trying to make money out of me and out of the charity.
so I'll leave you with this. Just a little fact. According to Google, that I could tell you and all the listeners, uh, in 2015 there were an estimated 253 million people with visual impairment worldwide. Of these, 36 million were blind, and a further 217 million had moderate to severe visual impairment. That's MSVI for short. The prevalence of people that have distance visual impairment is 3.44%, of whom 0.49% are blind and 2.95% have MSVI. So, moving forward, that of course is the first major turning point in Ahmed's life, and is the reason, of course, he has such an incredible story to share. But it's only the beginning. That might be the first juicy segment, but it is, of course, only the beginning of a very eventful life story that this podcast will dig deeper and deeper into. The hilarious, the severe, the sad, the depressing, the happy. And it's all made possible thanks to websites like Anchor with Spotify. And of course, we've made a Patreon. If you would consider becoming a patron, we would greatly appreciate that. Of course, there's no obligation to do so. And also on our main website on Anchor, there's no obligation. but it is incredibly appreciated if you even feel a necessity even to donate a penny. Any contribution is just incredible. It's not even, I can't even put it into words. But next episode will be coming next Sunday. We've decided on making this a regular posting on Sunday at noon or Sunday at 12 o'clock. Until then, I am Eric Ransom for the Ahmed in Retrospect podcast, and we will see you next time.